Big Daddy here, and today we're going to take a look at ElementaryOS. So let's get started. So according to the website, ElementaryOS is a open source alternative to Windows and Mac. And when you boot into it, you're going to see one beautiful desktop. And I think in that department, it blows them all away. There's no question about it. Anytime that you want the top of the line in what something looks like, whether it's an icon set, a theme, or just the operating system itself, you look no further than Elementary, because they are at the top of their game in that department. So when you boot in, this is not the default wallpaper. This is wallpaper made by my buddy Carl. You'll see a blank dock with no animation to it at all, but it doesn't really need it. If you go to the top right, you'll see the system tray, and you'll see all of the different applets, and they all are the same size, the same separation, the same flyout window. Everything across the board is cohesive, with the exception of outside software that you install, like I installed OBS. So the icon is a little bit bigger than the other ones. But the software that comes with ElementaryOS, everything looks perfect. You have a calendar in the center, and you have an applications launcher to the left. Now again, this is not all default. I've been running this for a couple of days and have tweaked it a little bit. With this specifically, I have added a column and a row to this launcher to make it a little bit bigger. I've also added a lot of software to it. By default, it comes with, according to the website, everything you need, but not everything you don't want to have. And that may not be the exact wording, but that's pretty much close. So the accessories that it comes with is Calculator, Screenshot, and Scratch, which is a text editor. Everything else I installed. I installed Steam. Photos and Simple Scan are the only graphics programs. Under Internet, you had Epiphany Browser and Geary Mail. Everything else I installed. It did not come with an Office suite. Sound and video, you have music and you have videos. And these are tailored for Elementary specifically. They are no-frills applications. There's not a whole lot of settings. They just do what they're supposed to do. This one plays music and this one plays videos. System tools. The only thing that was in here was system settings, multitasking view, terminal, system monitor, and App Center. Speaking of the App Center, this is a different software center than you may be used to on any other Linux operating system, because everything in a Linux operating system is usually just click it to install it. With this one here, it adds a little feature to it that I was not originally a fan of, because it just seemed out of place. But if you'll notice, there's no install button here. It says free. So if you click this, it'll start to the install process, because that application is free. But when you go to a program like Bookworm, it says $1. And that's the difference with this software center. Not that you actually have to pay $1, because you can hit the drop-down menu and hit 0, and it will start to install the software. This is a suggested donation. You can donate however much you want, but it's a suggested donation for the developer to get a little bit back for all the time and effort that they put into it. And I think I have grown to love this idea. And I think in the future, it will probably be the standard, because it is such a great idea. It may not be a welcomed idea to everybody out there, But in practice, in general, I think it's a great idea. So all of the time and effort that people put into developing these apps, if you enjoy using them, it's a great thing to donate. And you don't have to donate a lot. If everybody donated just a little bit, $1, to this developer that created Bookworm, he would have enough to maybe encourage him to create a better app or a different app, maybe another app. And that's the idea behind the App Center, is to have a channel so that the developers can have encouragement to develop better apps, to accumulate the best of the apps and the best of the developers. So I think it's a great idea. Not everybody may like it, but again, in the future, I think it will probably be the standard. All right. So how does it run? Well, on cold boot, it runs about 1.1 gigabytes of memory. Right now, I'm running 4.5 gigabytes of memory. I do have multiple Chrome windows open, and that usually takes up tons of RAM. Probably 3.5 of that is Chrome. So, and I won't say that this is the lightest or fastest operating system out there, because it's not. An XFCE desktop will, run rings around this as far as speed is concerned. But for what it does and for how it acts, it runs fine on my system. Everything opens up not in lightning speed, but as you can see, as I'm opening these programs up, none of them are hesitating to open. So if you have a fear of having this be a really slow operating system, it really isn't. Now, I have an i7, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and this is running on a solid state drive. So it's not the top of the line, but it's not older hardware either. So would I put this on an older machine with less memory? And I don't know. I would have to test it out on that. I would think that it wouldn't be as snappy as it is for me. So I have run this, and without tweaking anything, it runs perfect. Everything just works. And I think that's what the developers have designed it to do, is just work and just be a no frills. You install it and you just use it operating system. As a matter of fact, I think they may lock down the system too much sometimes, trying to keep people from customizing it. And there's a reason for that. It's because they have a certain goal in mind of what they want their operating system to be and how they want it to act. And they can control how that acts with specific software. When you start enabling other software and other things in an operating system, that's when things start to break. And I will say that when you do that in elementary, when you start adding PPAs, which by default you can't have a PPA in elementary, it doesn't offer PPA support. You can install you can use the command line and install something to allow it to have PPA support. But by default, it does not. And it wants you to use the software that's in the software center. That's debatable whether you want that or not, but I installed what I needed to install PPAs. After I installed a few different programs, certain things start to change. And for example, I installed KD Connect Indicator and KD Connect. I started it up, and for the first time since running elementary, things started to go wrong. It started to freeze up. The panel was unresponsive. And I was hoping that it wasn't the KD Connect Indicator. And it's really no slight against elementary, because if something's causing the wing panel to freeze from KD Connect Indicator, there's not really a whole lot that they can do about that. It's more on the KD Connect guys to make it work right with Elementary. And I don't think Elementary would be too interested to make it work, maybe. I don't know. But either way, when you go to install other software, things start to go wrong. So this operating system is for somebody who wants to install a beautiful looking operating system, an alternative to Windows or Mac, use the software that's included, and have it just run. They don't need to do a whole lot of different things. They don't need to do video editing or anything else. They just want to run their computer. This is a perfect operating system for them. It runs good on decent hardware. It looks really good. And it's got enough apps to do everything you need to do in a normal scenario. Now, if you need to do more than that, and you are like me, somebody who wants to customize and tweak, this may not be the operating system for you. Because again, once you start tweaking, once you start adding different things, it kind of doesn't like it. It just doesn't like it. So, I don't know. The jury's out for me on this because I really love running this. I really do. I mean, it looks that good to me that I just enjoy running it. But I did run into an issue with private internet access. So they have a GUI application and I installed it, but there's no indicator in the wing panel for that. It's running, but there's no indicator. Okay, so you can install, you can do it manually through OpenVPN. So I did that, and I was able to connect. But within 2 minutes of me being connected to the VPN, my connection just shuts off. It shows being connected yet, but the connection is not there. Once I disconnect from the VPN, my connection is back. Now, this isn't specific to Elementary because I've had the same exact issue, on Ubuntu Budgie. That was a specific problem I had there, and I have it here as well. So I don't know exactly what the problem is. But again, if you use Elementary for the software and the programs and the things that come with it, you'll be fine. If you want to add different things and add all this stuff, that's where you may run into problems. All in all, when I don't tweak it and when I don't add nothing, it runs great and it looks awesome. So it's not for everybody. But if you want something that you can install and run and look good, this may be for you. So what do you think? Do you think you could run Elementary? Post in the comments below and we'll talk about it. But until next time, Big Daddy out.